Anyway, on the Internet Archive, one of the best uses I've seen for language models is the idea of a compressor, meaning that the generative create the generative creative stuff that can come out is it's great, it's interesting, but it's always just going to be kind of randomized. But using language models on large bodies of text is where it really shines because it can pull together amazing amounts of information and put links together between different disparate facts in seconds that we can't keep up with. So there's a lot of things that are argued that it'll maybe AI will never be as good as us at, but this is one that it's better at literally like today. So give me a timeline of events that led up to World War One. June 28th, 1914. All right. I was watching a documentary on this. It's probably why it's on my brain. Looking at the chain of events that led to the breakout of the Great War, it might be interesting to see what was published on the papers, what people were saying about it at the time. So if we started with a publication that covered from before June. Oh, so this is something I didn't know. Looks like it took all the way from June 14 to May 15 to actually get everybody to go to war. Okay, could you expand on item number 1 and give some direct quote text from the newspaper listing? Oh, it shortened my question. Oh, hold on there, Ada. The article likely discussed the political maneuvers, alliances, and atmosphere. All right. I've got a risk of failure here because of the fact that this is a well-known subject and we could be getting nonsense back rather than an actual reading of the article. Oh, wait, what's this? I can reply to a certain section of the text. When did that happen? Ada, did you actually read the article or did you just pull information off the web or out of your memory? Pulled general information from memory and didn't actually read the article. I'll take a look at the specific content of the article now and provide a summary based on what I find. That's beautiful. I'm really glad there was that clue there. The article likely discussed. It's like it probably says this. That's the jagged frontier of AI development. Oh man, a lot of this text got junked up. That's not going to help. Yeah, what is it? I mean, look at this text here. What is it going to do with that? Yeah, the text, a lot of it came through garbled. I'm just looking for the word none, if like that even came in. Nuns as And no wonder ChatGPT made a bunch of stuff up. This thing came through as garbage. You really have to validate your data sources here before you try to use them. Serbia was given 48 hours to respond with a deadline set for July 25th, 1914. Okay, so if we went to the news on July 26th, that might be interesting to see what comes up. So we're going to look for July 26th. That gives them a day to respond, and then we'll check July 27th also. You go back to calendar view. Okay. July 26th. Let's check the front page here. Austrian envoy quits. Russia mobilizes troops. Germany eager for war. Okay. This paper does not look like it's in good condition. Did they get all this text? Because that's why we're here. We're trying to pull this stuff in. I'm a little worried. King Peter of Serbia, which they spelled Servia. That's interesting. Emperor Francis Joseph of Austria, Tsar Nicholas. Emperor William of... Look at all these mustached men. Well, let's see what the text file looks like. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be pretty messed up, though. That's not going to help our case here. Okay, is it going to give me just this page? Because I want the full newspaper. Oh, man, look at that. Yeah. That is just... That's just alphabet salad right there. What are we going to do with that? And God help me, I can't do anything with this. I just don't know if it's hallucinating or not, or if there's enough useful connection in text like this to actually get it. So I've posted that back up. I'm going to go through and read. What are we doing here? See, this is where it gets to be. It's kind of like those Arcos challenges. If you've ever seen those, where detect if you're human. I can piece together the text here, but that never made it through. That got lost. So how can I ask a language model to actually do anything with it if it can't even get the raw data? I'm positive that where it says right here, the radium is being kept in a vault at the National City Bank, as it is impossible to insure against loss because of its minuteness. I know that that text didn't come through. Attempt made on Khediv's life. I'm trying to find something that I know it got the text and see if it can put together the story for me. Let's go back to the text version of this. Going from this garbage here to this in that amount of time is pretty useful, especially given the garbage that it had to sort through to get to that. So where could I take this a little bit further? It's indeed a very strange circumstance. This peculiar detail is likely why the incident was reported despite being a local story. However, without more information, we can only speculate about what might have happened. All right, so here's two things I like. First, it said, I don't know why it happened. That's really important that language models are able to tell us, I don't know. Um, it tells us whether or not we can use them reliably for things or not. So, yeah, so that I like. Then the next thing, it does try to offer up, since I'd asked the question, it's like, well, maybe it could have been this or maybe it could have been that. The body may have become wedged or caught on something or water, keeping it upright. It's important to note that drowning victims are not typically found in a standing position, which makes this case quite unusual. The brief nature of the report leaves many questions unanswered, and it's possible that a more detailed local report might have provided additional context. If you're particularly interested in this case, you might consider looking into historical records from Penyan or Kuka Lake area from that time period for any follow-up reports or investigations. However, given the age of this news item and apparent local nature, finding additional information might be challenging. Well, that's true. Okay, I like how the name here too. I like what Claude's doing. Summarizing newspaper content without web access. So it's acknowledging that we're looking for grounded generation. So let's go back and see real quick. If I can find that story on the cover and if I can find out which page the full story happens on. Grounds while standing up. Man, that is really wonky tiny text. Try this again. I telegraph to the Tribune. Okay. It just stops here. It says he walked off the pier at 2 o'clock, his watch stopping at that hour. Okay, so it caught that text. That is really fuzzy too. And it caught that it was by a local. So they sent a telegraph to the Tribune with that story. Well, I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of that mystery. I do want to see what the text looks like. Now I would use my old friend Control F for the word drown. Okay, this is weird because this text that came through here is garbage. Like, was it anywhere else? Drown. Just the one spot. I don't understand how it did that with just that piece of text right there. He walked off the pier at 2 o'clock. Does it say that right here? Or is that in a different section? Did it get parsed into a different section of the body of text? Let me look for the word pier. Is watch stopping at that point. So, man, it pieced together some really garbage text. There's nowhere else online it could have gotten that data from. It's not going to pull what chat tried to pull on me today with the whole convent Sacred Heart fire, which never happened. Jonas Canfield was his name right there. Let's do a search for Jonas. Something weird's going on because Jonas doesn't even show up. I don't know how it did this. Anyway. All right, well, bottom line, things are still spotty and touchy in what you can trust different language models for, as we see on display right here. I don't completely understand how it did what it did, but it seems, well, it's definitely more reliable as a research partner than chat is in its current state. So I like the direction it's going here, but it's still very puzzling along the way to try to figure out how much can we use it for. Say 7/13/2024. We're gonna say Claude is pretty reliable. I can't figure out why or how.